This is Pastor Troy right here. Get ready for what we call something incredible. It's called the Best of Season 3. Our executive producer, Donna Korniski's gone in the files. She's dug around, looked at your comments, and she's picked the best of Season 3 to throw back at you. So over the next few weeks, get ready. It's coming up right now. The first of, the second of, and a whole season of nothing but the best of Season 3. Get ready as that episode rolls now, and don't worry, we'll have new Season 4 episodes coming at you very soon. Be praying for us. We'll see you soon. I'm Pastor Troy. You've been on the dock. Now get ready for Season 3 Best of. This is Pastor Troy. We're getting ready to launch our next episode with you. And before we launch that episode, we got something real new that we couldn't put in the episode, but we want you to see it now. For the first time ever in Season 3, we have an affiliate advertising partner, and that is slnt.com. And before we launch our show, in just a minute or so, we want to introduce you to them. You'll be finding out more about them this season. But right now, before we launch this incredible show, check out this advertisement from our new partners at slnt.com. You want to be a part of this, and then stay tuned for the next On the Dock with Pastor Troy and the gang. Here we go.
There are more than 8 billion phones in the world, a fact that threatens your privacy, security, and health. With Silent Pocket Faraday protection, you can regain control over your mobile devices. We get it. Privacy and security are inconvenient topics, and you may feel like you have nothing to hide, but the fact is that in the modern world, your laptop is never really off. Your phone emits a signal, even in airplane mode. And everything from your passport to your credit cards contains RFID, and all of it contains valuable private information that is easily exploited in the wrong hands. Silent Pocket offers a range of products you already use: wallets, bags, travel gear, laptop sleeves, key cases, but with the added protection of our patented Faraday technology, which turns your devices invisible and safe from the outside world. Many industries, from top business professionals government officials, require the use of Faraday products for the day-to-day security of them and their staff. They understand that we are constantly at risk and take the necessary steps to prevent future attacks. We offer this elite technology to anyone that values their personal data, and we are proud to offer a premium range that fits seamlessly into your everyday life, providing security without looking like a tinfoil hat. As we learn to live with technology, Silent Pocket stands on the 3 pillars of privacy, security, and health. Our goal is to provide harmony with mobile technology without risking our most valuable information. We hope you'll trust us to help you do the same.
On the dock.org every Tuesday and Thursday on the dock with Pastor Troy. We're glad to have you here. We have got a great show for you today. We are all about conversations to propel yourself out of the shallows. Get that faith out of the shallows and into the deep. Take a look at that beautiful picture that my daughter Megan drew. It's sitting on the dock right there in those seats. We're around that cottonwood table right now. We're sitting in these seats. We want you to join us for a little bit of time, whether you're riding in a car, going someplace, listening on a podcast, or sitting someplace. You're sitting with us right now, and we're in the harbor here. You see the little lighthouse to the left there in the picture. I love that lighthouse. Can you show that picture one more time for us up there, Colt? See the little lighthouse she put up there? Now, when you go out that pass, you get to the deep water. We don't want you to stay in here. We want you to hang out with us a little bit, get filled up, and then get out there and live for Jesus. We're going to put some stuff in your tank today to get you out there, and so you can get out there and let Jesus be your captain and get out in the deep. I hope you're joining us today on one of these platforms where you're not listening to us at all. So hopefully you found us on YouTube. Maybe you're on Spotify. Maybe you're on iTunes. But did you know Those are our primary platforms. That's where we want you. That's where our metrics are best. But we're also on Google Play. You can listen to us audio there. Facebook, you can watch this video. Roku, you can watch this video. Rumble, you can watch us on video. And Sermonet, that's where our archives are. So you can see all of our shows. You can also see all of our shows on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes. But go there first. Find another one if you want. And we'd love to have you. We have five social media partners: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, and Getter. Donna's posting on all those. She's monitoring all those, and we would love to talk to you. Once you find us, hit subscribe, like, notify, tell other people how to find our YouTube channel, our Spotify or iTunes channel, whichever one you do. You guys use Spotify or iTunes? I use Spotify because I'm Detroit. Yeah.
Apple Music.
Apple. Here you go. Hit it again. Apple Music.
Yeah, Apple Music.
Yeah, Josh's mic's not on. Hit Josh's mic.
Hey.
There you go. Apple Music.
Big Apple Music guy.
Big Apple Music. Beth, you ever listen to us on Spotify and iTunes? You just YouTube. You're not on either. Get Beth on.
I have Spotify, but I just actually took it off my phone because my phone's too full.
Well, mine downloads my
of
Spotify
everything.
automatically. If I'm driving, I'll listen to it because I can't watch the video.
Right.
But I prefer to watch us on YouTube. And Rumble's not bad, but we like YouTube and that. So use those, hit subscribe, like, notify, and all those kind of things.
My phone's messed up. So.
Yeah. Go to Patreon, download the Patreon app on your Android or your Apple phone, and find On the Dock with Pastor Troy, and you can become a partner or sponsor. There's 4 levels of partnership. Just looking at that, you can jump in at one of those levels of partnership, 5, 10, 20, $50 a month, and be a supporter of our show and what we're doing here at On the Dock. There's also 3 tiers of sponsorship. If you have an organization or a business and we can work along with you to promote your product or what we're doing, we'll do a spotlight on you. There's different levels there, and we give you different levels of service there. If you're a Christian business, Christian organization, we would love to work with you. And we're doing a spotlight today, so this show will show you a little bit of what we can do, and we can even do so much more. Just check that out at Patreon. You can find that also by going on thedock.org and looking at the donate link. That will take you right to Patreon site. We're going to show you something special. slnt.com right here. Look here. Check out this. This is my Faraday bag. This is cool. This has got my phone in it. Nobody can listen to Chinese Google. Nobody's listening to me today. Someday we'll tell you how we did that at slnt.com. Use promo code OTD and you can get different versions of their Faraday bags. Are fantastic. You can also go to slnt.com/discount/OTD. That's our own special page. We have all kinds of discounts and shipping and special deals. Go check that out and be a part of that. We are an affiliate with them now. I'm going to show you something. Josh hadn't got the chance to see this. Josh is in the studio to do our segment today on Crown Brew. We're going to introduce that in just a second. But I want you to see this. Maybe you've seen some of this, but we want to run this because it is really cool. They found us, and we want to show you what we can do with them. So we're going to bring the video up, and I want you to watch our 1 minute and 30-second commercial so you can learn more about SLNT. Here we go.
There are more than 8 billion phones in the world, a fact that threatens your privacy, security, and health. With Silent Pocket Faraday protection, you can regain control over your mobile devices. We get it. Privacy and security are inconvenient topics, and you may feel like you have nothing to hide, but the fact is that in the modern world, your laptop is never really off. Your phone emits a signal, even in airplane mode. And everything from your passport to your credit cards contains RFID, and all of it contains valuable private information that is easily exploited in the wrong hands. Silent Pocket offers a range of products you already use: wallets, bags, travel gear, laptop sleeves, key cases, but with the added protection of our patented Faraday technology, which turns your devices invisible and safe from the outside world. Many industries, from top business professionals to government officials, require the use of Faraday products for the day-to-day security of them and their staff. They understand that we are constantly at risk and take the necessary steps to prevent future attacks. We offer this elite technology to anyone that values their personal data, and we are proud to offer a premium range that fits seamlessly into your everyday life, providing security without looking like a tinfoil hat. As we learn to live with technology, Silent Pocket stands on the 3 pillars of privacy, security, and health. Our goal is to provide harmony with mobile technology without risking our most valuable information. We hope you'll trust us to help you do the same.
How about that, Josh?
Cool.
That's pretty good production, isn't it?
Yeah.
Check this out. Beth, I couldn't tell you about this in a previous episode, but the new hottest thing is the bottom left corner, the sling bag for the ladies. I guess a guy could wear that, but it looks too shiny for me. But the sling bag is cool. The crossbody looks more dude-like across the front, but I love that sling bag. And I think for the ladies, for so much of our stuff, whether it's that will work as your key fob as well. Right now, people can take our Challenger. They can come up right next to you. I'm sorry, we told you we had one. Yeah, they can come up next to you and they can copy your car key and they can just steal your car.
They can come to your front porch
and steal your fobs while you're asleep and then drive your car out.
And get in your car and leave.
And get in your car and leave. Now, that's happening all over right now, certainly. So you want to protect that. So even if you just put this in your house at night to keep your keys in, that keeps a maid or somebody coming by.
Anybody.
They said a UPS guy could be scanning cards and stuff and selling it on the side. Jeez. And then somebody else is coming back and getting your stuff. We're just in a world when you go through the airports and stuff. It's not that you can't work with it in there, but you can control where you take it out. But if you're going through an airport, like you just came from Florida not too long ago, there's a lot of people that are just sitting there to scam you. Your mom and I got scammed at a McDonald's in Andalusia last time. There were people hopping around the seats trying to scam our phones. They were doing our phones. We saw them doing it.
And that's what they were doing. They were just sitting in the McDonald's.
Because the vacationers driving down, are there at Andalusia, and there's a 2-hour dead zone where there's no internet. So what they can do is get your card number on RFD, and they can spend all that money before you get to Destin or before you get back to Birmingham. They have already spent a bunch of money that you can't get text alerts on because your phone's not working well. Wow.
They weren't even eating or drinking anything or trying to cover up what they were doing. Or we told the manager.
And they seem to be in on it, to be honest.
They were dealing with them when we left.
Well, let's get into this show. I've got myself on the set. I've got Mother Beth here as a co-host. She's over in a cross seat today because she wanted to sit by her son and not by me.
No, I love my son, but I do not like sitting over here. I can't even
I know. It's not her regular seat. It's not a regular seat.
Myself.
Yeah. And then Colt's on camera, but not on microphone. Colt, our tech ninja, is in studio today. His voice is a little down today, so we don't have him here. And you can reach out, info@onthedock.org, and reach out to Donna Kroniski, our executive producer. She'd be glad to help you get linked up to these products and stuff like that. And as always, go to onthedock.org to find all these links to SL&T through our affiliate link, or if you want to find our donate link for my Patreon, all the stuff you can get there. Platforms are all right there. We're in studio to do a Take It to the Street spotlight, and our spotlighting Crown Brew. Now, Crown Brew has probably got more time on this set in 3 years than you can shake a stick at.
I'd say.
Because we have glasses in studio. We try, Josh, every now and then we even use your coffee mugs, but we mostly use ours because we have our own brand. But we always use this.
I have one of these,
and we have it on set.
Or one of these,
and there are so many episodes where we always say, Donna, send them a sponsorship bill. You should be getting a monthly bill because we talk about. Matter of fact, the whole Take It to the Streets episode with Take Action Today, we drank your stuff the entire episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
my people told me that you've done enough free stuff that I owed you a show.
You did, finally. After 3 years, I get my son in here. You have gotten so much show time, But Crown Brew is our Take It to the Street spotlight, and Josh gets to be a part of our 184th unique show that we've done. So, son, glad to have you here today. And we are in part 1 of that. We're going to do 2 parts here, and we're going to be doing the spotlight and the ethos of the whole Crown Brew Coffee Company. We've got some stuff on the table here, a great looking show of stuff. You can tell us about that a little bit later and point that out. But Josh is Crown Brew Coffee. I guess the word would be owner and master barista. I don't know. Do you consider yourself? I mean, you've invented so many of your drinks, and I know you have collaboration in there. But I would consider you're absolutely a master barista, and actually you designed some just incredibly unique foods. So let me get the basics of it in real quick. Crown Brew Coffee is a wonderful place. It's open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sundays.
Beautiful picture.
Sundays, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Now you're asking, where is Crown Brew Coffee? Crown Brew Coffee is in Marion, Illinois at 107 East Union Street. And you can go to crownbrewcoffee.com to find them. And I'm going to tell you a little secret, a little early in the show here, but you can order online.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that?
Oh, yeah.
I do it. I order on, listen, I never bump his line because I want my son to do well, because someday I'll come live with him when I'm old and I can't live on my own anymore. So I always tell him I don't want to be a distraction. So I'd never get in front of anybody in line there, but they can crank through it. But what I learned over time was I can order the app, and they know me well enough that they just come over and bring it to me now. So I order on the app.
We tell our regular, that's a hack. You don't have to waste your time sitting in line.
I do.
You come in, grab
I go
it,
right in, grab my seat, and I just order, and then I'll wave at them when I come in. They'll see me and they'll bring it over to me. So I appreciate it.
If you're waiting in the line, you're not family. You haven't figured it out.
They know him at Starbucks too.
Yeah, I've known him both places. Yeah, and what's funny about
we walk in, it's like on Cheers. I don't know if you ever watched Cheers.
Pastor Troy, where are you going today? Yeah, and what's funny about it is everyone. Listen, the Starbucks people love Crown Brew.
Oh,
The whole Starbucks team does.
They're some of our best customers.
When you were closed for that one week when you were doing redesign and engineering, they were just like all panicked. I'm thinking like, what happened to Crown Brew? I said, "They're just doing cool. And then next week they were closed for something. Everybody has to have their resets, and they love you guys in there. They know if I'm getting on the interstate, I'll go there. I said, I'd get on there, but I got to go on the other side of town. And so we have a good balance. It's funny that the coffee companies here are all very supportive of each other.
Oh, yeah.
But Crown Brew is unique. And every one of them tell me to hang at your place.
Yep.
Every one of them. The manager asks me every time how you're doing, and that. So I cannot hide in there either. So they have great product there. Crown Brew's got a beautiful, beautiful place there. Check that out. I'm going to show you some more pictures in a little while, but we'll get into that a little bit deeper in the episode. Oh, I'll just show you a few more. What the heck? Look at this. Look at this beautiful location. This is my favorite place. Is back on this couch here. I tried to get there. People haven't already got it. I like that corner seat, and I like to have my meeting with somebody else on the other corner seat. So I like that. I like that window seat too, Josh, back there. Sometimes I get that pillow, lean back and work for a while. I love that. That's great. Josh, they do incredible stuff. Now we know Crown Brew coffee, okay, all kinds of unique drinks, and he can talk about those a little bit. But what a lot of people don't realize is they've got bougie food. Look at these amazing toasts. I mean, that's bougie. I take Minley Men there, and we go eat there. I take Minley Men and say we're gonna go have toast. They go, what? Yeah. And then they go, man, that was good. And then you can get bougie drinks. Look at this incredible. I don't know what that is, Josh, but that looks good. That's got some fizz and some stuff to it. And this new meal here, this bagel thing. What is this one?
Dynamite bagel.
What's that?
Dynamite bagel.
Golly, it's like that's like the Chinese dynamite.
We kind of play with like the dynamite rolls. Cheese, avocado,
it is that.
cucumber.
Yeah.
So
and
good.
boy, the one and then. Now, Josh did not send me this food, so I want to officially declare this is not their official photos. This is my photos. This is me having a lunch meeting a few weeks ago.
The one with the egg on it. I love that.
The kimchi, yeah.
I don't see the one here. Oh, I'll show it next picture. These are my. So I'm sorry. See the lower left one? I actually started to eat that one. Then I realized I needed a photo for my Google stuff. I have 15 million views on Google. This is me having a lunch meeting. I mean, this is serious food. Look at the cookie. I mean, the cookie is ridiculous.
Oh, everything else.
And then that back thing in the back
good.
there has got some goat cheese on it. That's bougie. Everything here is bougie.
And bacon jam.
Yeah. Check this photo. I'm not done. Boom. Look at that. Up there, salmon. Where can you get salmon and lox? We're going to Seattle next week. We're going to get good stuff there. You can get it right here in Marion. Yeah. And then this left one, the toast, that's like dessert.
Nutella.
It's great. And you can just see the coffee up there. That's not one that he did for the show. That's what they serve regularly, the art stuff in there. Yeah. So I know those aren't your official pictures. Those are mine. And I just want people to see the food just doesn't look good when you stage it. The food looks good when I go and eat it.
Yep.
And I like that. So Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday 1 to 5. And that is Crown Brew Coffee. You want to check that out. Now, we got Josh here, and we are going to unlock the mysteries of what's going on at Crown Brew. So, Josh, give us a little summary, a spotlight on this whole thing that is Crown Brew. I'll throw up this one. This is a good one to start. Give us a breakdown, just an overview, 10,000 feet. Lay us out the whole vision and spectrum.
Yeah, so Crown Brew Coffee Company, we're a craft coffee company, really one of the first ones and a big one down in our region.
Decorated.
Yeah, we've won best coffee in the region 5 years straight.
I mean, 5 years. That's like a poker straight. I mean,
we're like the Tom Brady of coffee shops.
And that's why the people at Starbucks understand. They go there. Yeah. Starbucks comes there for coffee.
Yeah, so
that's what I'm talking about. Thank you for our studio audience.
We'll see if we get 6. Then we really will be Tom Brady. We're going for the Thanos. We want all 6. So
excuse me, Pittsburgh's also 6?
That's right.
Not this year. Right.
Well, so we're a craft coffee company, but really for us, the number one thing we are is a hospitality company. We just happen to serve coffee. We happen to serve toasts and things like that. But as like kingdom-minded people, the biggest thing we do is we want to bring excellence. We want to bring a place that anyone can feel seen, heard, and loved and come and enjoy. And so when I look at our company, and I'll get into the ethos of it a little bit more, but our number one goal in existing and our mission in existing is to serve people and to love people and to do it in a way that is just honorable to who they are. So I'll really get into that in the ethos.
That's really, really
But so we're right now we've got one location in downtown Marion. We've had all kinds of opportunities and offers to do other locations and franchise and do a drive-through and do all this.
Everybody wants to push you.
They do, and I when I was younger and newer to it, I was like, the more locations, the better. And there's some church principles in here. The more locations, the better. The bigger, the better. The more, the better. And it was really stretching. And then when I got into a kind of a tough season with it, I realized, I got to keep the main thing the main thing. The reason why we're in here is to serve people and be a gift to our community. And sometimes the best way to do that is not to be bigger. It's to be intentional with where you are and what you do. And so we've really resolved, as far as I'm concerned, this is what we do. And if anyone ever came along in our organization that had a calling to do something like this, I'd love to give them all the books that I've written, all the guides I've written.
Right.
Let them go and do it. But for us, it's like we're called to Marion, so we're here to serve the people of Southern Illinois. Amazing drinks, an amazing atmosphere, amazing food. We're not trying to grow. We're not trying to shrink. We're actually just trying to serve and love people and be a spot people are proud of.
Wow, that's amazing.
Like that.
And it is. Let me pop this up. The pictures of the inside are just incredible. I mean, when you go in, there's a relaxing place. I like the little bar area. If you kind of like the Christian bar scene, it's not drunk and smoke filled, but you can have relationship. The baristas have relationship with people.
Josh
I see
made
regulars.
those chairs at
I
the
know
bar.
they made that.
There's some serious chairs.
Yeah, they are. They're hardcore, and I see people regulars there regularly.
Yeah.
And I see people that are there almost. One dude that's there every day. I mean, every day.
We got a couple people that really live there and hang out.
And our own Haley, who does a lot of our design for our show, she's at our church. She's there too often. I can't get in there now there without having to visit with her. And I love Haley. I do all my meetings with Haley. I do a lot of meetings there, and I look around and times, and there can be 3 and 4 other pastors having Bible study. They're preparing sermons. There's a really peaceful atmosphere. I walk in regularly. There's a Bible study small group going on in there one morning.
Yeah, we've got Bible studies and stuff in there, and it's supposed to be a gift for the community.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, I'll talk about that with the whole ethos of it, but yeah, we designed and built out the place ourselves.
Look at this background. This backroom's
beautiful.
fantastic. That's where I see the Bible study back in there sometime.
Oh, yeah.
And I've already talked to Josh. We've got a group of men that are wanting to meet regularly. We're going to try to pick a day and start maybe gathering there in the new year. We've talked about that, and just amazing. Tell us a little bit about these drinks here. Your core is coffee, and we'll get the ethos behind it. But tell us about the kind of drinks. What are the variety of stuff you're doing?
Yeah, so we're in what's considered the third wave of coffee. That's a
Okay, let's go through the first wave. What's the first wave?
First wave is coffee.
Like is that like Folgers?
No, that's the second wave. So that's where we started getting kind of like, let's can it, let's make it instant.
But your mom she drinks Folgers. But is like the home cup of coffee, is that, what is that, prehistoric?
That's your second wave.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So and that's where all your like Starbucks and Paneras and McDonald's and Folgers and all this stuff. So third wave is considered specialty.
I never knew this stuff. I did not know there were waves
Wait a
in
minute.
coffee.
What's the first wave?
The first wave is just like coffee. Coffee exists. It's come out.
It's
People are
just
ready-
because coffee goes back
Then
forever.
The second wave.
They've been chewing on coffee beans.
The history of
since-
coffee is
since
thousands of years old.
So
South America, Africa.
Second wave is brands.
So in the second wave, it became like more like consumer,
packaged.
quick, like
Folgers,
easy,
a can of
accessible.
Folgers, Senka,
Okay.
different products.
Yeah, there's
right?
guys that could talk to it a lot more than I.
That's
We
fine.
live in the third wave, and what the third wave is specialty, and so everything we do is intentional brewing, and so we're weighing everything, timing everything. Our temperatures are regulated. So when we're doing this, our goal is we want to make you the same cup of coffee the same way every single time.
And I will say to you, I rarely, if ever, I don't ever remember a cup of my coffee unless I changed beans.
Yeah.
Being different, as far because it's you almost got a chemistry to it.
Yeah, and so that's what I created a lot of our own methods for doing things. There's a lot of ways to do it, but most of those guys that don't like to share stuff, we don't mind. So I came up with a lot of our own versions or takes on brewing methods. But the idea to best serve people is you want to serve them something consistent. And so like when we're doing coffee with like latte art, all that, the only way you can achieve latte art is having fresh beans brewed the right way with milk steamed at the right temperature, poured the right way.
So that's why your mom's Folgers won't do that in the morning?
No, it won't. Like, so there's so much people look at it, and it's not just the barista and like their skill. It's the intentionality all the way up.
It's
and
the froth on there. That's all because of the bean and the freshness.
And how you steam it and the temperature it ends up at. So like all of our coffee drinks. So what we do is, because we have really good signature like coffee, even the roasting process is really intentional, is when we're adding flavors and other things to it, because people like coffee that way. We're not trying to hide the coffee flavor. We're trying to find things that partner with the beans that we're putting in.
Wow.
And so everything is about intentionality. Like I said, we weigh everything, we time everything, we measure everything, we drill our guys on it. I have like a 18 or 20 page brewing guide that I've written over the last 7 years. It's become like our Bible for how we do everything.
I see that you're using weight scales, temperature controls,
everything.
Is coffee have an ideal temperature to brew at?
Yeah, you've got to brew between 195 to 205 degrees. We tend to run everything right about 2 to 203, and it's all chemistry.
Just for the record, for those of you at home, I'm a barbecue expert,
Yeah.
and that's what I do, and that's the temperature for brisket.
Yeah, it is.
A finished temperature is 195, 205.
You got to break 201 so that it can actually begin to separate, right?
Yeah, on the brisket. Well, yeah, on pork it's 185 to 195, but on brisket, the collagen breaks down between 195 and 205.
And so the same thing, when you get cold brew, the reason it's like a 20-hour process, it's chemistry. Heat speeds up solutions, right? So hot water means 3-minute brew time. Cold water's 20-hour brew time. So there's a spectrum, right?
Uh-huh.
But one of the things that, if you have your home brew systems, your Keurig, your Mr. Coffee, one of the things they miss on is they aren't regulating their temperature very well.
Yeah.
So if it's under, but they're brewing in 3 minutes, what's happening is you're not getting enough heat to pull all the flavor out. And so little things like making sure your water's hot enough completely changes it.
Wow.
It's the difference between having a brisket that came out at 165 because it's safe now.
It's
There's
tight.
no bacteria.
Yeah, it's legal to eat.
It's legal to eat, but we haven't actually broke it down in a way that's satisfying and like craft.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I cooked some brisket the other day for an event at 203, and there's not a piece of it left in this building. There were 4 prime. It's perfect. People said, how come you can do so well? I said, well, I just follow certain rules. So you're doing the same thing with coffee.
The exact same thing. So you've got the bean and you're saying, I've got a water temperature, I've got a time, and it's got to happen during this time. Same with smoking barbecue. I've got a target temperature.
There is a craft to it, though. So many people will do it. They just don't. There's a craft to the temperature of the wood and that. So you're saying the same thing is true. So there's a craft barbecue. There's craft.
It's craft coffee, and that's what's considered craft coffee.
What's sad about this is my son here, and this is his business here, and he's got this craft coffee, which is delicious. I mean, it's perfectly brewed, but his mom drinks Folgers every morning.
Swill.
That's swill, garbage swill. I mean, just, and then I'm a part of John Will's. I'm a part of John Will's barbecue, 3-time world championship barbecue. I worked and was trained there in the heart of Memphis how to cook barbecue. And then Beth will say, "I'm so disappointed that Dairy Queen quit having their barbecue sandwich. That garbage in a butter dish. You get a butter dish frozen, and it just broke her. So my wife breaks my heart by eating the butter dish barbecue and the Folgers. Son, she's just not a craft woman, but we love you what you're doing. So you got the drinks. Now you've got the coffee drinks. Then you've got almost everything you guys do that's hot can be cold.
Yeah.
I love that.
But it's not the same. That's what's interesting.
It's a totally different drink.
It's but it's all crafted. So like there's principles, and I kind of cracked the code on how all of that stuff works. So when we're making things, espresso and cold brew completely different. You can ice it. You don't have to. It's all over the place. What it comes down to is, and it's like how much do you care?
What are we drinking right here? What are we drinking here? This is good. What is this?
Does coffee have to be hot before it can be cold?
No.
So
it can, but it doesn't have to be.
You can cold brew coffee.
He's cold brewing.
Cold brewing. So that's cold brew.
That's cold brew. This is delicious.
And so what you're doing with cold brew is, if it takes 3 minutes at 205 degrees to extract your coffee, it's going to extract slower with cold water. But what's going to happen if it's slowly coming out? What's the difference between, a piece of meat that you cook in 2 minutes versus one that you cook in 20 hours?
Tender versus...
It's the tenderness.
Yeah,
and what's happening. So
I used to think cold brew was just
No.
hot coffee.
The acid, there's no...
That's iced coffee.
If you hate ice, if you hate the aesthetic taste, there's
I
none
used
here.
to think it was just hot coffee with poured
No,
over
no, no. So
ice.
that's the difference. So cold brew, and this is
iced
kind of how
coffee,
we
that's it.
started our company,
Okay.
is we would literally soak it in room temperature water for 20 hours. Because of that, it's more tender. So it's 70% less acidic, a little bit like different. It's different
Okay, so
flavors
you
and
can do
body.
tea like
If you
that.
gripe about drinking,
exactly.
if you gripe about drinking coffee because it's too acidic, you get heartburn. You've got to try cold brew.
It's smooth.
It's a totally different world.
Yes.
You know, and
it is less acidic.
Well, so take it to barbecue. Pork. You can take pork. You can have the shoulder. You can have the rib. You can have pulled, shredded.
Right.
You know what you pick. Bacon, ham,
Right.
all of it. It's all the same pig, but depending on where you cut it, how you cook it, how you prep it,
What's
how you
cross
brine it
grain,
or
right,
not.
makes a big
so
difference.
coffee's the same way. Is you can start with this one Columbia bean we have here, and you can do it cold for 20 hours, add oat milk and vanilla, and that's what that is.
well, I'm
Or
just
you
telling
can
you,
do it-
oat milk and vanilla. I'm telling you, this is, and I had a white chocolate one earlier.
Yeah.
This is like Yoo-hoo, but better. This is like Yoo-hoo. Those of you that are my age, do they still have Yoo-hoo?
It's not like you.
No. I know. I'm debasing Yoo-hoo. No,
I'm debased.
no. I'm going to debase him and say no. Yoo-hoo was when we growing up. It was like,
Yeah.
listen, no. Yoo-hoo when I was young, you go in and you grab one, and it was one drinker. You just put her down. You could never take sips of Yoo-hoo. This makes Yoo-hoo look like a joke. This is like creamy, delicious. It's
is
hard.
Prairie
You
Farms
can
chocolate
chug
milk.
this. This is delicious. So if you're like, I can't do coffee, you need to go to the cold brew. It is fantastic. And you got this by jugs, don't you? You didn't bring it, but this is in like half
Oh,
gallon.
yeah, the jugs are in the
this
fridge,
is half
yeah.
gallon jugs, man. You can bring this home, and we have it in the refrigerator all the time. But if you don't want the cream, you can do just the coffee, black coffee.
black coffee. And so it's just like you start with the base, it's coffee, and then how you prepare it, what you're adding to it. All these things are just bringing out different flavor and stuff in it.
What's this drink to the left up here that's got layers on it? You know,
Oh, that one is the Rocket Man. So that's espresso.
You like
Yeah,
that one.
I
yeah,
love that one.
So that's espresso with milk and honey and condensed milk and cinnamon. And so at that one, we just didn't mix it yet. And
it looks.
yeah,
It's a layered. It's like a layered drink. You know.
So that's what you're doing when you're coming up with these. Like we do signature drinks every quarter. We
you
rotate
change it up based on the
summer,
season.
fall. And we do new ones every year because what we're thinking is like what's like in the like winery world and like craft cocktail world, they're always bringing all these new ideas. It's like the same base stuff. They're always creating new ways of enjoying it. So we kind of push ourselves in that same way where it's like we're making syrups in-house from scratch based on something that we had somewhere, and we're like, I want peach something.
Yeah.
So how do I get that to come alive? And we literally have a whole team of or we have someone on our team who at all times is like doing R&D production. She's doing like sauce development. And so, if you're in the winter menu, we're already talking about spring flavors. We're messing around while we're there, trying to create new experiences based on flavors we've had somewhere else and fell in love with. The Vampire Weekend's like one of the most popular ever.
Yeah, winter drink. I love it.
I had horchata somewhere and I'm like, I think I can make this better.
Yeah.
And so I made up my own version of horchata, and I'm like, I think
You're making
it
it in-house horchata.
Yeah. So everything we do is in-house,
good.
and it just creates an experience.
What if I know what's cool about this, because I go there a lot in the summer when it's hot and stuff, and go, I don't really want coffee. Even cold brewed, it's a little heavy.
Yeah.
What's great is you guys, if you don't like coffee and you're a tea drinker,
Yep.
you've got home runs on the tea.
So it's the same thing. It's the principles. And so we've got teas and lemonades that we make from scratch.
from
Like
scratch.
3 to 4 ingredient lemonades, real lemons, water, sugar, real fruit, and
For a while there, your sister was coming up from Memphis and
taking it home.
taking jugs of it home
Yeah.
because people down there wanted it.
It's what's crazy is there's nothing that we do that someone else couldn't do. We just care more than most people.
And you
do.
took the time to figure out the ratios and the percentages.
and then you just obey it. So it's really simple.
and
that way.
then you got to get the fresh ingredients, the things you need to make it. Let's get into this, and we'll kind of wrap up this first part of the episode. We want to get into your ethos to kind of wrap up this section, and then we're going to come back in a little bit. And in our next part, we want to there's some backstory that you want to hear how Crown Brew got to be, because there's a whole ministry world behind this, and want to hear about the challenges of running your business in 2 different times. So I think people out there that think about starting a Christian business can learn a lot from what you've learned. I think the reason why we're doing these spotlights is not just to show Crown Brew, but I think other people are looking at their own business brands and things like this can learn from what you've done, and they can look at whether they're starting, whether they're going to start a pizza place or something else or some other experiment. They can learn. There's some principles you've got. We're going to get into that in the next one and take a look at what's happening next with Crown Brew. But the ethos of your whole idea, and by I mean ethos, is what's the heart really behind it? What's the goal, the reason? What are you trying to create in this place? What's the spirit of it?
Yeah. What do we got? Like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Cool.
How
So
about give me 5.
I'm going to give what I think is the biggest piece of gold that I've come to realize. And if anyone is in any version of hospitality, restaurants, whatever product where you're serving people, whether it's, like I said, restaurant, like bar, cafe, whatever it is, this is the principle I teach my guys every time. So you guys know when you have guests come over to your house, right? It's different than when you have family come over. When you have guests come over for the first time, what do? You spend the entire day cleaning.
Deep cleaning.
And everyone right now, you've got, your 3 meals in mind right now. If I said, I'm coming over to your house, you've never had me over.
Yep.
What are you going to cook for me? We've all got those 3 meals in mind. What are they? They're the best meals that we've ever made. Yeah. Exactly. And so, if I'm coming to your house for the first time, you have an extremely clean house. You've got, one of your 3 best meals ever. Everything's in order. You've showered, you're kept. It's a beautiful experience. Why? Because you're trying to show an impression that you matter. I care that you're here.
Good impression.
So I'm taking the time to be ready and show that you value me, right? When family come over, you're just like, jump in the fridge, get whatever you want. I'm still got my pajamas on. And so what I tell people is that when you're in the hospitality industry, you don't live in the familiarity of being family. You treat every day and every single person as if they're the guest coming into your house. And this is where a lot of people in hospitality miss it, is they begin to get comfortable and familiar, and they begin to stop looking at their cafe or their restaurant or their products as if it's being experienced for the first time by people.
So you're basically saying
really good insight.
that
I like that.
this, people will talk about, I can brew $1 cup of coffee at home.
Sure.
But here you're not going for just the coffee. You're going for the experience, for the boutique.
So here's
a boutique move to
Here's
this.
the key that goes next level. And this is one of our big secrets. So when you're in hospitality, see, this isn't about us.
It's experience.
It's actually about our customers. And so here's where you go even further, okay? So now I say, I don't care if the line's to the door on Saturday, you treat every customer in that line the same. Why? Because just because I knew you and I've served you 100 times, the person behind you is watching how I treat you.
Yes.
And so that matters because that's speaking to it. Now take it one further. When we get in the holiday season is when we really see this. So you get regulars and they're, in their 40s or 50s, and they're a little older maybe than you would think are hanging out in the craft coffee crowd, but they're your regulars and you love them. You know each other by name. So guess what happens every holiday season? They start rolling in there with their college age kids, with, their grandkids.
They want to show them how cool they are.
And you want to know what tells them how cool they are?
Grandpa's hip.
When Grandpa rolls in and one of the baristas goes, "Hey, Jack, good to see. Is this one of your grandkids?" And immediately, what does it do? It actually honors Jack. It honors you. And what it says is, "Oh, wow, this is cool." So in the same way, when you think about the meals you cook for a guest, if I came to visit you in your town and I'm not from there, you already have the 2 or 3 restaurants in mind that you're like, I'm going to take them.
Yep.
Why? Because what you're doing when you're taking people to a restaurant is you're actually not talking about the restaurant. You're talking about you. You're saying this is my taste,
my level,
my style.
Because what your kids thought when they rolled in, they thought you were going to the diner cafe and Flo was going to bring you a cup of coffee.
Yeah, we're going to go to the local coffee shop. What they don't realize, it's the award-winning cool one where they know Grandpa by name.
Yeah.
And so what we see as, and this is where we really play it up for our customers that are regulars, especially when they're older, we extra love on them when their grandkids are in town, because what's happening is we now get to serve them, and by extension, we're serving their family. Wow. It's like when we do catering for weddings or something.
You're their Sunday best or their special event place.
And so the way that we treat them and their guests is actually an extension of them. So when we were doing like wedding catering kind of before COVID and stuff, I would look at my team before we'd go serve after the wedding. And I'd say, guys, everything that we do today is an extension of the bride and groom. This isn't about our brand. Our brand doesn't exist now. Right. We actually are here on behalf of the bride and groom, so we need to treat every one of their guests the way that the bride or groom would treat them, the way the father of the bride would treat them.
You're their honored guest today.
Exactly. And so we treat every day in our cafe where, and this is where most people in my industry really mess up. You guys go to Nashville, you see the way that they think you're so lucky to come and get an experience.
We let you in, you're next,
and exactly. What we do is we're the opposite, where we're like, we're so lucky that you came to see us today. Right. So we want to make you feel seen and heard and loved. So that's my gold to anyone.
And you're making, and what people need to understand is you're making everything to order. So
Yes.
so if you go to like a low end restaurant, they've got like heat lines in the back. Your food's already ready. They slop it on things, send it out. Nothing wrong with that. That's a blue plate. We do that at the House of Hope.
Yeah.
It's done lovingly, and you're getting a blue plate special. When you go to a fancier restaurant, they're firing your dishes per table per plate to order. That's what a real chef does.
Yeah.
You know, a Ramsay or whatever.
Yeah.
They fire it to order. You're actually firing everybody's drinks. You're making their lemonades
Every
to
drink,
order.
everything. We're weighing it to order. There's a couple things that are batched because that's better to serve.
No,
people.
I understand that.
But no, but it's
being
more than
poured to
that.
the order.
When someone comes in and we see them be a little nervous because they're risking and they're trying us and we're not their normal brand, we begin to look at them immediately and say, hey, we're making this to order. Man, would you come down, talk to Noah as he's making this? When you get done, will you take a sip for Noah and give him some feedback? He'd love to make that sweeter for you or a little bit stronger. We want every single person to walk in, especially because when you get into craft anything, craft coffee, craft barbecue, craft anything at all, you walk in thinking whoever's here is the expert and I'm not. And so how we serve people that come in is we begin to say, hey, we're here to serve you. We're here to break down the barrier of being pretentious and being snotty. We want you to have good experience today. And coffee at the end of the day is about pleasure. It's about enjoyment.
And yes, you can go get a common cup at any Five and Dime or anything, but to go get one crafted for you that's fresh,
it'll be
not
the
been on
same
for
way.
3
Yeah.
hours, but it's made with fresh ingredients, fresh beans.
So when we get someone who gets a new regular, like you've got a drink that's not on our menu that you always get, I tell people, I said, because we weigh everything. I said, hey, if you like what I made you, like say it's extra sweeter, stronger than normal. I said, give me your phone, open your notes, and I'm going to type this formula in. All you got to do is show this to any barista who works here, and they're gonna know what to do. And so they do this for our customers.
Oh, yeah.
If they have a really funny order or like funny anythings, and think about the level of that you feel when you walk into a cafe and say, hey,
this is mine.
You know what that means, right?
This is mine, right?
Oh yeah, I got you.
I got you.
Yeah. And
I
so
love
it's
that.
it's getting out of this mindset of come and see us. And it's like, we're so glad that you came in. How do we serve you today? And if more people would get in that, we win awards for being the best, not because we're like, come see how good we are, but because we're constantly treating everyone coming in like they're our first time visitors. So we're putting our best out. So when people are saying they're the best, it's not because we're so cool and awesome. We go through employees like any other place. People come and go, new jobs and stuff. It's not like we've secured the best people. We have the best culture and the best principles, which yields the best experience.
Right.
Wow.
I remember when you first opened, and it was at a different location.
Yeah.
But your the counter where you prepared everything was right there, so you had no choice but to stand there. And
Yeah,
watch
we want people to watch.
Yeah,
we want them to see it all.
and it was so cool, and people were so intrigued with that,
Yeah.
and they didn't mind at all that they had to wait
No.
and watch you do that, and that there was an entire line of people waiting. You know, I remember everybody was just talking. There was always all this hubbub going
Community,
on and
yeah.
everything, and
That's it.
it was a great atmosphere, and it still is.
Yep.
It still
It's
is.
fantastic. There's fantastic spirit presence there. As we wrap up this, we're going to come back and we're getting the backstory. You're going to get the chance to see how I think God's in all this story. It's been great. It's a great place. Spiritually, it's a great place for me to go as a pastor if I just want to study the word, if I want to meet with somebody, to go someplace where the people know your name and it's not cheers or a beer, but it's a place where the presence of the Lord is in the place. Yeah, it's not overly Christian or anything. You don't have to be a Christian to go there or anything, but you can just feel that the place is filled with love and you can see the ethos is there. Before we do that, I do know you've got on the table here, you have product. So tell me a little bit about the merch. You have a cooler. What do you call that? A chiller. As you come
like
in.
a
So
reach-in
it's not
fridge.
just order. You can go in and get some reach-in stuff.
Yeah.
And you've also got some merch. Tell us a little bit about that before we wrap up this part one.
Yeah, so we've got fresh roasted coffee every week, fresh roasted stuff, different origins, all single origin, all direct trade partnership with our roaster. They actually know the farmers who are producing this stuff. So that's all. It's ethically sourced, bought at the right price, like everything about it, like the guys are aware. So we're always rotating different fun merch through. All that stuff is just good because if we have good coffee and good drinks, we don't get cheap stuff. We always get stuff that's nice that people be proud to give us gifts and whatnot. So we've got our ready to drink stuff at the cafe. We're just always rotating little things through like that.
I'll say, so we got Crown Brew Coffee. You're on the north side of the square around the backside. So go up the Pizza Alley or come around to the next street on Union Street.
We actually have a lot of parking. That's why we
You
like
have
to
a
be
lot of
off
parking back
the
there.
square.
Yeah, they got a lot of parking. Just go to the other side of the north side, the other side of the building. Huge amount of parking there. Check it out. Remember, remember, if you get there and there's a line, go to Crown Brew Coffee right there.
Just order on the app.
Order on the app.
Yep.
It's great. Beautiful place. Go check it out. You're open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sundays 1 to 5. Always check that. They change a little bit seasonally, so go to their online site, crownbrewcoffee.com. Make sure check the times and all that, because seasonally things can change.
Oh, yeah.
But great stuff there. You can kind of see what's going on. And then remember, quarterly, those drinks and some of the foods change and stuff like that.
Yeah, every quarter we rotate our menus, pastries, everything.
And we're going to come back in the next episode. We'll talk a little bit more about the food. We'll talk a little bit more about the pastries, and we'll get deeper into the backstory. How did the Lord get you here, and the challenges in the next move. So we're going to be back in part 2, the backstory of the challenges and the next moves. Go to onthedock.org to find out more about our show, and email at info@onthedock.org. If you want to find out something more about Crown Brew, you can reach out to us this way. We'll get you directed there. Or again, you can just go find us out at crownbrewcoffee.com. Go to YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and watch our show. You see our other partners right there, and we'd love to hear your feedback. We want to hear how you like Crown Brew. Tell us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, Getter, and we'd love to hear from that. We'll pass that on, and we'll share that. Find out if you've been there. Let us know if you've been there. Send us a picture or something. We'll use some of your pictures in a future episode. And hit subscribe, like, notify, and share with other people, not only about this episode, but tell them how to find Crown Brew. They're going to love it. Even if they're not from this area, we can maybe arrange for them to order something. Go to Patreon and become a partner or sponsor of the show. We'd love to have you. And don't forget, if you want to get that Faraday bag, go to slnt.com, use promo code OTD, or you can use our special link there, www.slnt.com/discount/OTD. It's in our description for the show today, and we'd love to have you go there. You can also go to onthedock.org, and you can find those links at the donate link for my Patreon and also for our affiliate program. And we want to invite you out, if you don't have a church home of your own, Community Faith Church, Sundays 10 o'clock, Wednesdays 6:30. Go to coftv.com to find out more about that as well. Josh, it's been good to have you in this part 1 episode. We're going to be back in part 2 to go much deeper. Mother Beth, you got anything final? Mother Beth, Colt, thank you for leading us in this production today. We'll be back with part 2 of this. Don't miss it. I'm Pastor Troy, and you've been on the dock. We'll see you soon.